Hello again from the UKW Arena and welcome to the WrestleBration XII pre-show. I'm joined here with, the enigmatic Bret Hadley.
Thank you, hello, nice to be here, back at WrestleBration again.
And of course, General Manager Lawrence Breeze, who's also enigmatic.
Oh, he's an enigma, alright.
I'm glad you both said that. Yeah, WrestleBration 12, it's going to be on the cards sooner rather than later. What a night we've got planned. And as you can see in front of us already, the cage has been erected. And that's how we're going to start the night off. How exciting is that?
I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. This will be my first WrestleBration.
Not my first.
No, your first
my
WrestleBration, first cage match. It's just super exciting. So do you guys want to tell us some more about it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, WrestleBration is UKW's biggest event of the year. And we're starting out with a bang, if I do say so myself. Cayman Carlisle taking on Jonathan Sedgwick one-on-one inside the steel cage.
Very imposing blue steel cage here, and don't forget the winner of that match is not finished. Once they've got through that match, whoever wins and leaves the cage as UKW champion, then later on tonight, they've got another match, Lawrence.
Yeah, they do. Jester Jairo's going to be licking his lips.
Have you seen him today? He is chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he's very, very excited. He's looking forward to seeing this match, to be fair, because why would you not? You literally, you're sat there, you know, all right, so the end of the night, I have a match against one of two people. A couple of hours before that, these two people are going to be ripping limb from limb inside a cage.
Literally, they are. They cannot stand each other. There is a long history between the owner of this company and Cayman Carlisle, as we well know. You know, they legitimately hate each other.
Yeah, and sorry, go on, Steph.
I was going to say, how did we get to this point? For those that don't know, how did we get to this point where we're at right now?
So the issue that we've seen building over for months, and I'm talking not just from Rebound to WrestleBration, I'm talking sort of pre-pandemic.
Oh, it's a long-standing issue.
Yeah, Cayman Carlisle just has a hatred for Jonathan Sedgwick. Don't know what it's for. From my understanding, is it all stemmed from a time that Cayman went to America, and when he came back, he thought he would be received the hero's welcome, and he didn't, because he wasn't at the level that Cayman Carlisle thinks he's at. And from then on, month after month, year on year, Jonathan Sedgwick tries to go about his business, and Cayman Carlisle always has to stick his oar in.
It was a constant thorn in Sedgwick's side, and vice versa.
And then obviously you add the element of Jairo into this. This match, I say this match for Jairo, this match has been coming for 16 months. Like, he's been waiting for this opportunity. Sedgwick offered Jairo one final opportunity before the world went sideways and we had to go into a global pandemic and lockdown and all that kind of caboodle. Then we returned and Jairo felt hard done by because we came back and he didn't get the opportunity that he was offered.
And he told anybody and anything within earshot, he'd never shut up about it.
But
he felt hard done by, very much so, and he still does.
Yeah, but can you blame him, Brett?
I was going to say, it is, from my perspective, it is rightly justified that he feels that way. It does possibly, from Jairo's perspective, feel like Sedgwick has dodged him at every opportunity.
But now it's like the way that Jairo's gone about it. That's my issue, is the way he's gone about. You know, it's not the same Jairo I once knew and you once knew.
Yeah, well, you see, I can't answer that question because, fortunately for me, I know the Jester Jairo Lewis better than arguably anybody here. Mm-hmm. He's a school friend. I went to school with him. I've grown up with him. He's 20 years my friend, legitimately. But I do agree with what you're saying in terms of this isn't a normal Jairo that I know. He's lucky.
He's unhinged. That's what
a little bit. But also
he's becoming more and more unhinged. Did you see last month when we were here? You know, he had that match with Tommy Dillon, the wild card. He lost. And then after that match, what happened?
But let's not even talk about the loss. He didn't.
No.
He didn't.
What happened after the match?
Hang on, before we get to that, we need to delve deeper into this as a whole. Jairo didn't lose that match, in my opinion. Jairo beat himself.
That's a fair point.
He got in his own head. We saw it clear as day. He was in the corner. He was tuning up the band.
He was,
as we say.
And who is the one who uses that super kick?
Jonathan Sedgwick.
There we go.
Jonathan,
he was
exactly. But I don't even think Sedgwick is in Jairo's head.
It's Jairo.
Jairo is in his own head.
Oh, completely.
And then moving on to your point afterwards, the low blow after the fact. Yeah.
For those of you who didn't see that, he offered a hand of respect to Tommy Dillon, raised his hand, and then kicked him right in the crown jewels.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Steph. Like, while I don't necessarily... The problem that Jairo sees that Sedgwick has been ducking him for 16 months.
There has been...
We have been locked down for 14.
This is it. We've had a pandemic.
Which is fair, Brett, 100%. Yeah, and since we've come back from the pandemic, there's been opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. But has there really been that opportunity? Is now the perfect moment?
Yeah, I think it is.
For Jairo, 100% now is the perfect moment for him.
Completely.
It's not like he's heading into Wrestlebration 12 knowing that he's got a match with Jonathan Sedgwick. So he has got a little bit of a disadvantage in that term. But on the flip side, Jonathan Sedgwick, Cameron Carlisle, whoever it is that wins this cage match later tonight, they're not going to be 100%.
No, absolutely not.
I guarantee it, they're not going to be 100%. Jairo is going to be as fresh as a daisy at the end of the night.
Jairo knows that. He knows that they're not going to be 100%. He's not that fussed who he faces. He's already said it to me today. I don't care, he said.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk predictions.
Okay.
For the cage match. Who do you predict is going to walk out of here?
See, neither man may walk. They might have trouble walking, but I think Sedgwick may just shut Cayman Carlisle up once and for all tonight. He's got his chance.
So Brett's going with Sedgwick. LB, where are you headed?
As much as I dislike what I'm about to say, how do you count Cayman Carlisle out of this structure? We heard Sedgwick say it, that the idea of this match is to keep Cayman Carlisle in a confined space. Sedgwick wants to take his pound of flesh.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a feeling that if Sedgwick gets tunnel visioned here tonight, Cayman Carlisle might slip a victory.
You think we could see a brand new UKW champion in the first match?
I think it's a very, very good possibility.
Can you imagine starting off Wrestlebration 12?
Yes, but it wouldn't be the first time we've seen this match. The last time Cayman Carlisle was the underdog in a match against Jonathan Sedgwick was Wrestlebration 10. Wrestlebration 9, sorry. And Cayman Carlisle won that match. Nobody anticipated Cayman Carlisle. For that night, a switch flicked in Cayman Carlisle. It was the most violent I've ever seen him. He used glass bottles. He set the baseball bat on fire, for Christ's sake. Wow! Like he wanted Sedgwick's head on a stick at the end of that night.
Sounds like he got it.
And what number was that?
That was Wrestlebration 9.
So 3 years.
And to quote a line from Cayman Carlisle, he did exactly what he said he was going to do that night. And I honestly, I'm not putting it past him to do the same again tonight.
So there you have it, folks. We have some mixed feelings about who's going to take that lead. But if we're talking about main events, we should probably talk about the main event, shouldn't we?
Yeah, of course. So obviously, let's not forget that Jairo has had this ticket punched. Sedgwick basically goaded Cayman Carlisle into a fight tonight. Yeah. Cayman Carlisle accepted it before he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, there is that really small point that Carlisle was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then Sedgwick was like, oh, he didn't let me finish.
Exactly.
And then revealed that he's going to do it in front of the UKW audience here and inside the steel cage.
But Jairo knew about this opportunity. So Jairo knows. Jairo's had a month to sit and look. While he might not necessarily know who he's fighting tonight, so he's only got 2 hours, give or take, to prepare for his actual opponent tonight. Jairo has known for 2 months that he's going to have one of those two men to deal with.
He's going to get that title shot. He knew. Yeah,
exactly.
Well and truly.
He knows come whatever time tonight when the match is actually shown to obviously the full capacity here at the UKW arena, Jairo knows he's going to be 100%.
Yep.
Jairo knows that whoever he's fighting isn't going to be 100%. And Jairo knows his chance of walking out of here the new UK wrestling champion has never been higher.
He's just got to go in there with a good mental headspace, which is what he didn't have last month with Tommy Dillon. So this time he's had, like you said, he's had the month now to prepare himself mentally, physically, in every way he has got. And if it doesn't work out for him tonight, You know, I don't know. It could, it couldn't. He's only got himself to blame if it doesn't. So, you know, it's the biggest opportunity of his life.
He has had other opportunities at this championship, but I don't think he's ever going to get an opportunity like this one again.
Absolutely not.
Well, you know, this is exciting stuff. So let's start thinking again about our predictions and who do you have to win the UKW Championship?
At the end of the night, Jairo. I'm sorry. That might not.
Wow.
You could argue that I'm being biased about my best friend. You can have that argument with me all day long. You are not telling me that regardless of who wins that cage match, that they're going to be 100%. Jairo is a great wrestler. You can't go against him at not 100% and have a hope of winning.
You know what? If it's going to be Jairo's night, it's got to be tonight. So it wouldn't shock me if he did it, but he'd only have himself to blame if he didn't.
So just let's quickly revert back, because you obviously said you think the main event is going to be Sedgwick and Jairo.
Yeah.
I think it's Carlisle and Jairo. For me personally, just look at that history though. Cayman Carlisle started the collective, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Originally, Jairo was in the collective. Like this
So
this is full circle.
It's a very full circle situation. Whatever happens in this cage match.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that respect, then it really doesn't matter who comes out of that cage match because Jairo is going to be gunning for them.
100% he is. I honestly think, to your point, I actually think Jairo would rather face Sedgwick tonight. I think Jairo's got his sights set on Sedgwick, and I think if he could pick, I think Jairo would rather fight Sedgwick tonight.
Yep.
However, I don't think he's going to be upset that if he gets to scrap with an injured Cayman Carlisle.
Absolutely not. No. My head is saying Jairo, my heart is saying Sedgwick. This is the house that Sedgwick built. We've said it so many times, sat here. It's his baby, it's his empire, it's the house he built. You know, who would bet against him? But this is a different ball game and a different kettle of fish tonight, I think.
I would tend to agree with you. In this building, Jonathan Sedgwick has got to be a favourite.
Yeah.
And maybe he is for the cage match, but I don't think he is after the cage match.
No.
Do you think no matter who walks out of that cage match, Jesse Jairo could still take it?
Oh,
Yes,
completely.
100%.
Yep.
Just simply for having the fresh-faced advantage?
Yeah, and as I said, he's still a premier wrestler here. He's not like he's a guy that's just been training for 2 weeks.
No.
He's been doing it for 5-6 years.
Yep.
Like he's ready to take that next step. We've seen him here. He's been champions multiple times. He's had an academy title reign. He beat Ricky Knight Jr. for the TV championship. Just let me say that name again. He beat Ricky Knight Jr.
A name that is
of the Knight family.
Yeah, a name that's stooped in wrestling history in this country.
So he has a wealth of experience behind him, as well as
absolutely.
the energy to back it up,
Yep.
and the passion and the drive to fight for it.
Yep.
And the fight is going to potentially be, a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. How are you going to do that?
Because Carlisle and Sedgwick are going to tear 10
Each other
bells
limb from limb.
of hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We should also probably mention the fact that the main event tonight has a special referee, doesn't it?
Special enforcer.
Of course. Yeah.
The wildcard Tommy Dillon, who is also competing tonight in the Dream Ticket ladder match.
But obviously, let's just go back to what you mentioned earlier, Brett. Like the end of the show, Jairo kicking Tommy Dillon south of the border.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God, I remember.
Like obviously, it came out on social media. I don't know if you guys had seen it. And somebody had edited a video that basically made out like we were calling into question Tommy Dillon's integrity.
Oh God, no.
The question. So I raised a question of what does this do for the psyche of Tommy Dillon?
Yeah.
And I didn't mean it to come across in terms of I actually think Tommy Dillon doesn't have the integrity to call it right down the middle, because I actually think he does.
Yeah,
I think Tommy Dillon is a complete professional, and I don't think that while the bell rings to signify the start of the main event, that Tommy Dillon will get involved in any way, shape or form that isn't warranted.
Yeah.
But the second that bell rings to call it, then Jairo's fair game, champion or not.
Completely.
And do you Lawrence, do you believe that he would take that?
After the bell rings, 100% I would. The guy's rung me in front of the nation. I'm going to get my own back if I can.
The guy got kicked south of the border last month.
And I wouldn't blame Tommy Dillon for that
me
either.
neither.
Me and Tommy Dillon might not necessarily have always seen eye to eye, but as of right now, Tommy Dillon's being wronged. And I wouldn't question him if he decides to get involved and take, again, his pound of flesh, but I don't think he will during the match, but afterwards, why not?
If I was Jairo and I won that match, I would watch my back.
100%. Tommy Dillon, he's not going to bend the rules in favour of Jonathan Sedgwick. He's not that type of person. Maybe he would have been once upon a time, but as of right now, he's absolutely not. He will want the right man to win, and then to go back to what Brett pointed out, how he's taking part in a dream ticket ladder match. Like, we can see the briefcase hanging above us right now. How's Tommy Dillon going to look when we get to the main event? Might not even be in any shape to be out here as an enforcer.
The dream ticket ladder match is going to be a 5-man match where the winner of that match will then get the chance. They've got to climb the ladder, retrieve that briefcase that, as Lawrence just said, is hanging from the roof here. And then after that, they get a chance at any championship at any point in the next year that they choose.
Now, you see, this is the thing. So much of this is new to me. I've never done Wrestlebration before, and it's so exciting. The fact that it's Wrestlebration 12 as well, and it's back after the pandemic. We've got a fantastic crowd in. You can really start to feel the audience are getting really pumped now, especially with the cage in the space. They're really feeling it. Is this cage match going, and the main event itself, going to overshadow that dream ticket match?
No, I don't think so.
It's the beauty of the dream ticket, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Nobody's saying that the winner of the dream ticket has to cash that in tonight. They can hold it for a year.
They could do it at next year's Wrestlebration.
Yeah, they could do it. They could do it next year's Wrestlebration. They could do it one night in training. If Jonathan's been teaching a class, and all of a sudden from out of nowhere, let's just say, I don't know, Dynamite Chris Hart decides, you know what, I've got this bad boy on me. You're out of this situation, and creamed him over the back of the head. Why not?
And there will be absolutely nothing that the champion then could do about it, because that is the nature of winning that briefcase to get the contract.
Anytime, anywhere, yeah.
And do any of you, let's start with you, Lawrence, do you have anybody that you would punch that dream ticket for, that you can see getting that, climbing that ladder and getting that briefcase more than the others?
Obviously, we've seen the field announced on social media. Obviously, it is with a heavy heart that Rex Savage isn't here. Like, obviously, Track and Trace pinged to say you need to isolate, so he's done the right thing of stayed at home, which obviously, maybe if you'd have asked me 4 days ago who would my pick be, the answer would be Rex Savage. He's the alpha predator for a reason. Mm-hmm. His speed, his power, his aggression, in a controlled manner. Up until finding that out the other day, I would have probably said Rex Savage. That being said, Rex isn't here, so I am going to pivot and I'm going to go with Billy O'Keefe.
Billy O'Keefe?
Billy O'Keefe.
Really?
Yeah, he's the fastest man in this match by a country mile.
Yeah.
And he's got a chip on his shoulder. We saw that. He came back after a pandemic and he got blindsided and knocked out cold.
He did.
He came back the next month and he had an absolute barnstorming match with Confused Steve, who again another member of this ladder match that we're referring to. But
do we think Steve's going to find his way up the ladder? That's one point.
Now, you see, I would have put my money on Confused Steve.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because I love an underdog. I do love an underdog, and I love Confused Steve to pieces, and I want to see him sort of show everybody, say, look, I can. I mean, we saw how well he did against the MVK Valkyrians, and he did so well then.
He did, and nobody's taking that away from Steve at all. To be fair, he's a good shout. To be honest, I'm not going to argue with your pick. It's a fair statement. But as Brett said, is Steve going to be able to fathom that he has to actually climb the ladder?
No, he's got to understand the concept of this stuff.
Wait, there's a ladder involved?
He's got to realise that he's got to get in the ring with the ladder, place it, climb up it, and get the briefcase. You know?
I'm sure he'd figure it out after 3 people had already had a go.
but then, like, the other thing that you need to take into consideration, the other two, Dynamite Chris Hart, like, he made his triumphant return last month, and he was unsuccessful in his tag team match. Granted, his tag team partner wasn't here, because he was working a tag team match with a partner he'd never worked with before, and he put out a decent enough showing. And now all of a sudden he finds himself in this environment.
He's got an opportunity, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And if he wins, like, he goes from not being in a UKW ring for years to being what is effectively the number one contender whenever he chooses he wants to be number one contender.
Exactly.
The other person that we need to mention is the around-the-clock champion, Sid Phoenix.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, yeah, he's won a lot.
Sid Phoenix, the man with the target all over his body.
Obviously, my understanding is, and now I could be wrong, like, it's Jonathan Cedric creation, so these rules might be different. But my understanding is that during the day that Phoenix is protected in this match, I could be mistaken. We'll have to wait and see. But the fact of the matter is, he is a champion coming into this match.
Yep.
None of the others are.
No.
So how do you pick against a current champion?
That's a fair comment. I mean, like you said, we've mentioned the around the clock champion. I mean, are we going to see some more of that tonight? Is that a possibility?
Anytime, anywhere, isn't it? That
literally.
Sid Phoenix is defending that title.
Yes.
Right now. For all we know,
they could come bursting through here at any moment. You realise that?
But that means that I could have just told the whole world an absolute bunch of nonsense, because I'm pointing out that he's a champion, and he might not be. No. Somebody backstage could have pinned him, and we wouldn't know about it until
later.
We know about it. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, we should also probably, if we're talking about the around the clock championship, we need to mention Sheikh Muktim versus Hades. Judging by that laughter, I think we can all assume that you guys probably don't have a lot of faith in the results of this match.
So I'm going to go first if this is all right, Brad, because
go for it.
To be honest, I've got nothing but huge respect for Sheikh Muktim.
Respect or confusion? Or a little bit of both?
Well, I mean, maybe he's got brain damage, but
well, he will have by the end of tonight.
I'm still shaking my head at this point.
Apologies. He called out Hades. It wasn't the other way round.
What kind of man
Hades
in his right
just
mind?
enjoyed torturing Sheikh Muktim. Sheikh Muktim decided, no, I'm going to call you out. Why would you do that?
That is a case of one of two things. You either have a lot of steel in the lower regions,
or you've not got a lot upstairs.
You've not got a lot upstairs.
I think it's the latter.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's lost every marble he ever had.
And if he hasn't, Hades will knock the.
They're rolling in the
out.
Aldi car park in Batley because they are not in his head. Honestly, what is he thinking?
He's got a death wish. That's a fact.
He really does.
I just,
So is this one of the few predictions that you two can definitely agree on?
So
I'm gonna take a spin on it if that's okay.
Go on.
Ooh.
Why don't we predict how long Sheikh Muktim's actually gonna last?
Well,
because we all know that Hades is gonna win. This is no surprise to anybody at home.
Will it be quick and pain? Will it be quick and pain? Will it be quick and full of pain, or will he drag the pain out?
Will he make him suffer? Because Sheikh Muktim is going to suffer
one way or another.
That's a fact of tonight.
Do you realise, Lawrence? Also, it's 4 years since Hades has had a singles match here in UKW.
Is it?
It is 4 years.
Last match against Nick Aldis?
Correct.
I was there for that.
There you go. And yeah, it's 4 years. But I don't think there'll be such a thing as ring rust with Hades.
So I'm going to just you brought that up. 4 years since he had a singles match.
Yep.
He, against current NWA heavyweight champion Nick Aldis, I might add.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hades won that match.
He did.
He walked out as champion.
Yes.
So Hades can do it.
Yep. He's got experience.
The other thing to mention is the last time Wrestlebration was live, Muktim and Hades were tag team partners.
They were.
And I wouldn't be surprised, because I remember that match like yesterday because I was up in the balcony on commentary. Sheikh Muktim thought it would be a great idea to tag himself into that match by hitting Hades in the forehead.
Wow.
You just...
Now, I wouldn't be surprised that
if that's where this
is all stemmed from, was Muktim being again a few marbles short.
Oh dear.
And hitting Hades in the face.
It's not a question of if Muktim's going to win, it's just going to be how long it's going to last. I mean,
Yeah, 100% Hades, he's going to kill him. But it's how quickly he's going to kill him.
Yep. Sorry, Sheik.
So how long do you think it'll take for the blood to hit the ground before the body flies out of the room?
If it goes more than 5 minutes, I'll be amazed.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
So
yes.
we've got 5 minutes here. What do you think? 2?
2.5.
2.5? Wow.
2.5.
Generous.
Give him those 30 seconds.
Just in case.
It might take 30 seconds for Hades to get to the ring.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, you want to be careful there.
Oh, no, I don't mean that negative. I think Hades is going to stalk Muktim.
Make him wait.
And
Make him wait.
Make him wait for him.
Yeah.
And then it'll be, do you think it'll be quick and clean, or do you think it's going to be dragged out?
I think Hades doesn't get paid by the hour. I think Hades is going to steamroll over Muktim. He's going to be in a corner somewhere, just a pile of mush.
Yep.
And the ring crew that's going to have to eventually take this cage down.
Spatula for the sheep.
Are probably going to have to somehow peel Muktum's carcass off the bottom corner.
I've just had a thought. I mean, we talked about the dream ticket for the men's matches, but
Two
there's also
dream
the
ticket
dream
matches
tickets
tonight,
for the women's
yeah.
match tonight as well.
This is it. There's 2 of them, not just one.
And also, let's just throw it out there, it's first time ever.
Yes.
The women have never had a dream ticket, and tonight they do.
The concept of that is exactly the same. So 2 women will start. We put out an open call to women up and down the country who are interested, who wanted an opportunity, and they answered in their droves, and we have them here tonight. 2 women will start. The winner stays on until all the women have entered, and the ultimate winner of that,
Theoretically, then, an open call, I could jump in there.
Well,
Probably not. You sit there and stay pretty.
That's a bit hard. Wait, did you say I'm pretty?
Yeah.
Aww. Anyway,
can
so
be
we've
nice.
got. Should we have a little roundup of some of the beautiful women we've got coming in to fight this match?
Yeah.
And strong and powerful women. We need to add that. These women are the best at what they do.
Yeah, 100% they are. Obviously, everybody knows, as we've seen her recently, Victoria Adams, the Valkyrie.
Oh, crikey.
For me, she was one of the first people to accept, and I would argue she's got to be a favourite here tonight.
After what we saw that woman do last month,
Yeah.
She put Leonie Rose in a body bag.
an actual body bag, an
Now-
airtight body bag, folks.
I'm not Leonie Rose's biggest fan.
Me neither.
That's not true,
he
is
is.
it, Brett? Come on.
I think your claims that I'm her biggest fan are slightly exaggerated, but anyway, carry on.
But I do not discount Leonie Rose by any stretch of the imagination. Because she is a firecracker. From what I've seen of her, she will do everything.
But obviously, yeah, but we're talking about that like Leonie Rose is in this match. Like, she's not. She's got her own match. She's got her own.
No.
Yeah, she's got her own
I
match
thought
tonight.
she'd be in this.
No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Obviously, just to run through some other names that are in this match, we've got Natalie Wilde, which we've seen.
She was here last month.
We've seen her recently, quite a fair bit here.
Yeah.
Obviously, she had that awesome match with Alfie. Alfie coming out the victor.
We'll get to Alfie in a few minutes as well.
We will get back to Alfie.
Oh.
That might make more sense for you. Nat Wilde, obviously she impressed, and again this opportunity was, do you want a title match? Or do you want the opportunity for a title match? She was
All
like,
about opportunity.
of course I do, why wouldn't I not?
Yeah, who wouldn't?
So she's back tonight to prove a point.
Do we also have Kiara back as
Yeah,
well?
Kiara's back. Yeah, she another one that accepted the invite. And again, that's going to be another interesting dynamic because all these women we've seen so far, they're all like, yes, I want an opportunity. I want to come back and I want to become a champion at UKW. It's a reason to be around.
So any one of these beautiful women can just go in there and smash it.
Exactly, but let's not count out the 2 people we haven't seen. We've got Hannah Taylor and Harley Hudson.
Yep.
Complete wild cards to steal from Tommy Dillon. But they are. Like, I'm sure the ladies in the back that are in this gauntlet match will have done their homework when the announcements came out.
I hope so, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm gonna apply for this match, and I'm gonna accept the invite as well. The problem that you've got there is that the women that we have seen here previously, we have those experiences. We know what to expect from them. We haven't with Hannah and Haley. Harley. We don't have that. So it could be a complete game changer, especially if one of those draws a late entry.
This is it. Winner stays on.
So you could see Kiara and Nat Wild start. Because I don't know the order. We've got to find out the order as and when it comes out.
We don't know until they come out here later.
But obviously,
what the order is.
That's how it could happen. Kiara and Nat Wild, then one of them wins, the other one leaves effectively, and then they get a new opponent.
Yeah.
And tiredness is going to set in super quickly.
It's a gauntlet, so it's going to...
So let's talk predictions. I know Dream Ticket's hard.
I'm going the Valkyrie, Victoria Adams.
I think
she's my absolute favourite. She's an absolute monster. Look what she did to Leonie Rose. For God's sake, she put her in a body bag. I don't know how else to say that.
There is no other way of saying it. There is no other way of saying it. She put her in a body bag.
I remember Kiara's fight, and I was surprised at how powerful she was.
But she also lost.
Yeah.
To Brett's favourite, obviously, and like dodgy tactics.
I don't know where this has all come from, guys.
She held her own in a dodgy match. Let's be fair.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
But again,
she's an equal contender.
Yeah, no, my pick, and I'm not changing. Victoria Adams.
Victoria Adams for Lawrence.
Brett.
I find it hard to go against Victoria Adams as well, because after what I saw that woman do last month here, it gave me nightmares.
Well,
it really did. Who's going to stop somebody like that?
We could see that the end of the gauntlet may be Victoria Adams
into the briefcase after the Dream Ticket comes out.
I mean, possibly that might be what Adams
the winner
wants
of
to do.
that match will then have the opportunity to cash in that opportunity at any point, just like the man.
Is that against the UKW Women's Champion?
This one that's in front of me right now.
Oh, you mean this belt that's right here? What a segue that was. Yeah,
we do.
As general manager, would you like to explain?
Yeah, why have we got the belt
Why
here?
is that belt here?
This beautiful championship belt, the UKW Women's Championship. Obviously, last time we saw it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm looking at you. You weren't here. You won't know.
All that time ago.
But Brett, obviously, you will know. Like that championship was held by Brooklyn.
It was.
And she held it for a record set. I think 2 years and 3 months. I think it was. It was insane.
Wow, that is
a long time.
And unfortunately, Brooklyn has been suffering from an illness, and she feels like she's no longer able to fulfill her commitments to that championship and to these fans, which I completely respect that decision. Like, if she doesn't feel like she can give the fans what they deserve, and she's like, look, please take this back, give it to her. I say give it. Let a worthy adversary claim this championship, and when I'm well and good again, I'm coming back for it.
And we should just say that everybody at UKW sends our love and respect to Brooklyn for that choice and for good health.
Exactly, like that takes a lot of sort of internal struggle. I'm guessing because
you don't work that hard for something to then just go, oh, here you go.
Exactly, and she's had to give it up. She's chosen because she wants to give the best for these fans, for the championship, for herself, and she feels that she can't do that. So she's taken this decision, and I guess she hasn't taken it lightly.
No,
because obviously we've been back 3 months, and she's finally. She's come to realise that maybe I thought I was going to be back and I can't be.
Yeah.
And obviously we wish her family all the best, and hopefully she is better soon and that she does come back, because it'd be great to see her back in a ring.
But as a result of that happening, we now have a vacated UKW Women's Championship belt, and we now have...
What does that mean?
This is it. We now have a match tonight between two ladies we're very, very familiar with here at the desk, and one of them will become the new UKW Women's Champion tonight.
So that's where I was getting confused.
That's why Leonie Rose and Alfie aren't in the gauntlet.
Right. See, I saw them backstage and I thought, oh, it must just be for this whole thing.
There we go.
They are here to compete for the UKW Women's Championship.
Oh. So then whoever wins that dream ticket's going to be against one of them.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, potentially. They've got a year to cash it in like the men do, so they can cash it in at any point. But theoretically, the winner of the dream ticket tonight will have an opportunity to as of tonight, to be able to face Alfie or Leonie Rose.
Wow. So let's talk about that match.
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's go with Brett. Now, we know you have possible favourites here.
Really? What are you trying to say here?
Who would you put your money on?
Oh, Leonie Rose. I am not doubting Leonie Rose's ability for one moment.
Okay.
Maybe doubting the way she's gone about it in the past couple of months. The depth she won't stoop to.
Ooh.
You know.
Cool.
But her ability, no, I'm not doubting that whatsoever. There's a very real chance. You know, she could win that belt tonight, but it's against Alfie. You know, I don't know why you guys have got this warped impression that she's now my favourite wrestler or something. But
Oh no.
hey ho.
Just a hunch.
Not really is the answer to that. Anyway, no, Leonie Rose, never discount her, never count her out, and never count her out breaking the rules to get her hands on this title tonight as well.
But I was going to say, the rules of a championship belt match, they're different to how she's played before. She can't use those tactics anymore, can she?
Well,
Exactly right. Like, it's the running joke, Brett. Like, the reason why we always point out that she's your favourite is because she's the one that always bends the rules and drives you insane.
There's no need.
But as of tonight, there's no championship advantage that she holds in this match. That's why, let's not pretend, that's the reason why it grates on her so much, because she knows in matches she has that advantage. She can get counted out, she can get disqualified.
She can just walk out of the ring.
And
Exactly.
she'll still keep the belt.
She will still keep a loss doesn't matter to Leonie Rose normally.
Tonight.
But tonight, if she gets disqualified, she gets counted out, she loses, Alfie gets that championship.
She isn't going to be the champion.
Do we think then that maybe Leonie Rose will hold back some of her filthier tricks?
She's going to have to. She's going to have to do what she's been training for. She's going to have to use the new submission moves that she's been learning. She's going to have to try and keep close to Alfie. Alfie, we know, uses that devastating spear.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Effectively, that needs separation.
Yep.
Alfie needs to pick up enough momentum to hit you. That's the whole point of a spear. If Leonie Rose can keep the distance tight to prevent Alfie being able to get that spear out, then yeah, Leonie Rose, to be fair, has got to be favourite. However, the other thing that we need to mention,
I mean, we're skipping, we're just discounting, almost ignoring the fact that Alfie is in that ring.
well, no, this is the point I was going to make. We mentioned that Brooklyn had this championship for about 2 years. Alfie's been a tag team champion with Luna Rock for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is. So she knows all the tricks.
She knows how to keep a championship belt. She's done it for that long.
So she'll certainly know how to win one.
Exactly. So obviously, Leonie Rose has a championship of hers. She's got the Women's Academy Championship. But it's gonna find out tonight which of these two women's champions is actually at the peak of UKW.
We will find out tonight at WrestleBration 12 when one of those two ladies will become the new UKW Women's Champion.
You're
to see.
You're going Alfie. You're going Leonie Rose. I'm going.
What I think of her,
I'm going Alfie.
I can't go. I just think Leonie Rose is somehow, some way she'll manage it.
So, question for you, Steph, who have you got?
Who do you think, Steph?
As a women representing which you should do?
Do you know what? I feel I've seen them at both previous UKW arena matches before, and personally, I feel like I would trust my instincts and go with Alfie.
You're wrong then. That's what we're saying.
I'm sorry, Brett.
We'll see.
I don't trust Leonie Rose.
I don't trust her at all.
Herself enough to actually win.
What you're saying effectively then is that we're going to see the same old Leonie Rose that we always see.
Yeah.
And if she gets caught doing what she normally is doing,
She'll lose.
she'll lose, and she'll forget that.
It will get to a point where she realises she's losing, that Alfie has the advantage, she'll make a mistake and do the wrong thing, and it will backfire. That's how I see it playing
Because
out.
obviously the thing that, because I just brought out they're both champions, they're both going to be coming out with these championship belts.
Yeah.
So they're both going to know that, I'm a champion coming into this. I'm with you. I think she'll lose sight and forget all about that.
I'm not so sure. I think she'll have focus. Well, she's going to have focus.
Well,
we'll
let's
see.
hope. Let's
We'll see.
hope. I mean, there's a few other matches that we still not talked about. I mean, Wrestlebration... I've lost the ability to use my tongue today. Wrestlebration 12 is jam-packed.
It really is.
With fights tonight.
100%. How can we not discuss MSK Valkyrius?
Exactly. I mean, the fact that he's back, and who's he against?
Is it Jumping Jimmy Jackson?
It's Jumping Jimmy Jackson, who we did see have that storming match a couple of months ago here.
Yeah, of course. It's a massive David vs Goliath.
Oh, completely.
Match. Valkyrius full of power, Jackson full of speed. Like,
do you think maybe that, obviously we saw Valkyrius return last month
before, but yeah.
Thank you. And he called out, didn't he?
Everybody.
He called out everybody.
Effectively.
He didn't care.
He had, there was Confused Steve, but before Confused Steve, there was...
Johan Hunt.
Johan Hunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who I think he's still rolling, trying to find his head somewhere after Valkyrius kicked his face off.
Jeez.
The bell just rang. Was it?
Let's just let's be nice to Johan. He lasted at least 3 seconds.
3 seconds, and then Confused Steve came out, which at first seemed to really annoy Valkyrius, didn't it? He was not happy with that challenge.
Well, which I understand. Like, Valkyrius made an open challenge and it was answered. Obviously, he thought he'd wipe the floor with Johan Hunt.
And did.
You take the pay packet and go home, but not quite that easy, was it?
But that annoyed him even further, and he called out again, and Confused Steve stepped forward. But Confused Steve held his own.
Yeah, he did. I think a lot of people were impressed with what Confused Steve did.
I was really impressed. I was surprised and impressed with Confused Steve.
He's my new favourite.
He's your new favourite, yeah, we know. We know he's your new favourite. But yeah, I don't think anybody anticipated Steve lasting as long as he did against Valkyrius.
Oh, absolutely not.
But obviously, let's just throw this into consideration. Steve is a quick competitor.
Yeah.
Jumping Jimmy Jackson's probably the quickest.
So he's got Valkyrius. Do you think Valkyrius will be humbled by what happened 2 months ago, or do you think he's going to come in with the same attitude?
Oh, he'll have the same attitude. He won't care.
Yeah, he's not going to care. He wants to destroy this place and take what he rightfully is.
As a former UKW champion, he'd love to be that again. He'd love to assert himself as, the most valuable killer, which is, his moniker.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing about him. He's the most valuable killer.
Yeah.
When he came back and he basically, we saw it, they were in the ring, him and Sedgwick, and he was basically like, I'm glad to be back, but you got something I want.
And that UKW title.
And Jackson, for me, because I'm not counting Jimmy Jackson out in any way, shape or form, because I honestly think that if anybody can upset Valkyrius, it's probably Jimmy Jackson.
And trust me, if he won that match, it would be a monumental upset.
That being said, I think it's a stepping stone. Valkyrius wants to be back at the top, and he's going to smash through everything in his way. Jackson's
got to use every single bit of speed he's got. If he wants a chance in this match, he's got to run, hit, and run again.
Okay, well,
don't get caught. Basically.
Let's really quickly, because we are running out of time, and it will soon be Wrestlebration 12 on Fight TV. So if you haven't got the tickets now, get them quick, because it is going to be one hell of a Wrestlebration this year.
But obviously, you can't get tickets here because we're sold out.
No, not tickets here. I mean, tickets on Fight Now.
How great is it, by the way, guys? How great is it to see so many people in this building? It's fantastic.
No, the atmosphere in here is insane.
It doesn't help that this ominous structure sat in front of us and everybody's looking at it going,
So that's what a cage looks like.
So let's go back, let's talk predictions.
Sorry, yes,
let's
predictions.
Talk predictions quickly.
I can't go against Valkyrius. Sorry. No way.
Alright, devil's advocate then. I'm going to go Jumping Jimmy Jackson.
Really? You think he's going to do
he's definitely... Look. We saw Valkyrius start to struggle a little bit with the speed of Steve. Jackson's quicker than Steve is.
If Valkyrius catches Jackson tonight, it's all over.
But what you're doing there is saying that Jackson hasn't got a chance of getting away.
If he gets caught, he hasn't. No, if he hits quickly and hits impactfully, he's got a chance.
You see, I don't agree with that. I think you're not giving Jackson enough credit here.
Well,
I'm not taking any credit away from Valkyrius.
I say you don't want to do that.
Cool. Cool. So, once again, you guys are a bit mixed on this one. Just really quickly, because we are going to be heading to the main event very soon. So let's really, really quickly, let's just chat about one last match. And that is, I think, Kane Taylor versus...
how can we forget? The
TV Championship match.
champion, yeah.
Obviously, both train together. It's definitely an interesting dynamic that we've got here tonight. Kane Taylor's been a dominant champion. Colt Miles isn't necessarily the person that he thought he was going to be facing tonight, and I think that gives Miles the advantage.
Miles shouldn't be discounted in any way. Like you just said, Lawrence, they train together, they're at the same gym, they know each other. It's going to be interesting, this match. Very, very interesting to see what happens.
I was just going to say, I honestly can't see Taylor losing tonight. No. That's no disrespect to Cole. I just think he's too big.
Yeah.
Kane Taylor, we've seen him. He's a young kid. And he's like 6'9", he's huge.
Top heavy?
He's a big boy.
Wait, he's not even top heavy, he's gangly, isn't he? He's all just him. His legs are long, his arms are long, his body's long, he's got a long head.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
I have utter respect for Miles for stepping in at short notice. But I also think that he's probably going to cause more trouble for Taylor than we've ever seen before. We've seen who Taylor's beaten. Rex Savage, Andrew Jepson, Cayman Carlisle, all former champions. He's beaten them all, and he's beaten them all convincingly. Whereas Miles is somebody he hasn't beaten before, and he's somebody completely different from those three.
Oh, totally.
So I'm not writing Miles off at all tonight. I think if of all the upsets that could potentially happen, that's the one I think is the most likely.
You think we could get a new TV champion?
I think tonight we could get a new TV champion.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think ultimately Kane Taylor, the experience, the desire, the passion that he has to carry on being the longest reigning champion here, I think that'll outlast Colt Miles tonight.
Let's get clear predictions then. Lawrence, I'm going to go to you first.
Taylor's going to win, I think, but I'm just saying that Miles, if anybody's going to cause an upset tonight, it's Miles.
Okay. Brett?
I can't go against the champion. I really can't.
So?
I'd say Kane Taylor.
Kane Taylor?
Yeah.
Is that you two agree?
We've agreed a couple of times tonight.
It does happen, occasionally.
You know what? I'm starting to wonder if hell's going to freeze over.
Occasionally we agree.
Let's wait for Hades to come out and then we'll know for a fact, won't we?
The second Hades comes out, I'm over there somewhere.
You're going nowhere.
I still can't believe it that Sheikh Muktim has made that call. I mean, of all the calls
Told you,
could
his
make.
marbles are rolling around the car park.
I'm just going to quickly bring something up that we haven't mentioned. We haven't mentioned Mustafa Khan.
No, we haven't. I'm so
Persian
sorry.
heavyweight champion.
No,
Well,
quite right.
hang on.
Or is he?
Well, yeah, that was it's a contentious argument, and really quickly, Lawrence, do you want to just fill us all in on what's happening?
Well, Henry Winter, I've not seen him, whether he's here or not, I don't know. Cayman Carlisle is definitely here.
Yeah.
So the collective are going to be represented tonight. Mustafa Khan was pinned in a match by Henry Winter.
Yep.
Henry Winter took the title away with him.
Yeah.
You called umbrage on that and got put in your place. And to be fair, I can't argue with Henry Winter. Mustafa Khan hasn't defended that title for 60 months, let alone 60 days.
Do you think Mustafa Khan's going to be out for blood tonight from someone?
It depends on which version of Mustafa Khan we get, and that's Henry Winter's argument. The current one that we've seen, the baby kissing, the handshaking, the high fives and hugs, absolutely not. Henry Winter's going to destroy him.
But this is Wrestlebration, Lawrence. It's the biggest night in the UKW calendar. Mustafa Khan, in my opinion, has come here tonight to fight.
That might be the case, but to me, this is going to be the match that could potentially steal the show.
Like you said, though, it's a fair point. It does depend what Mustafa Khan turns up. If it's the one that I know and love, who will fight, I think Henry Winter might be in a bit of trouble tonight.
It's Persian rules as well, so anything goes. There's absolutely no rules effectively, and I think that puts the match in Winter's wheelhouse. So for me, Winter walks out, and I'm going to say, because I'm terrified of him, retains the Persian Heavyweight Championship.
Wow. So mixed thoughts there from you both again, but ultimately, We won't know until we get started, and it's getting started right now. Wrestlebration 12 is going live on Fight TV now. So, as Carlisle and Cedric head down for the cage match of their lives, let's be honest.
Start the show, remember that.
Let's start the show for the UKW Championship inside the cage right now. I've been Steph Hindle, your host. With me is General Manager Lawrence Breeze and our commentator Brett Hadley. We'll see you there. Thanks.